I didn't know my best friend was secretly trying to destroy my life. I, 29M, found out something last month that made me question every single friendship I've ever had. I always thought betrayal would come from a stranger, or maybe a partner. I never thought it would be my best friend of 12 years. Let me rewind a bit. His name is Evan. We met in college. He was my roommate sophomore year. We instantly clicked, same humor, same taste in games and music. We even got jobs in the same city after graduating. I introduced him to my now wife. I got him a job interview at my company. He was the best man at my wedding. He was like a brother to me. Or at least I thought so. A few months ago, I started noticing weird tension at work. People avoided me. Meetings got rescheduled without me. My boss, who used to be super friendly, suddenly acted cold and distant. I thought I was just burning out. Maybe overthinking. Maybe it was in my head. But then I got pulled into HR. They told me there had been anonymous complaints about me, that I had allegedly made coworkers feel uncomfortable. Nothing serious enough to fire me, but enough to restructure my role and put me on probation. I was stunned. I had never, and I mean never, had an issue at work. No write-ups, no poor performance. I didn't even know who would have said anything like that. I went to Evan after, told him I was being pushed out of my own team. He just kind of shrugged and said, "Yeah, man, people are weird, you'll bounce back." I didn't think much of it then. I trusted him, why wouldn't I? Fast forward to last month. A guy from HR, someone I'd gotten along with pretty well, quietly asked to meet for coffee off the clock. He looked nervous. He said, "I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but you didn't deserve what happened." He told me that Evan had filed multiple complaints about me over the last year. He made it sound like I was toxic, unprofessional, difficult to work with. He even hinted I was having inappropriate conversations behind closed doors. All of it was completely false. I felt like I'd been hit by a truck. Evan had been smiling in my face, cracking jokes, coming over for dinner, all while slowly, quietly, ruining my reputation. The HR guy said Evan was smart about it. He never filed anything that was provably false, just enough to create doubt, noise, patterns. Why? Because he wanted my position, the one I helped him get in the first place. And after I was demoted, guess who took over my team? Yeah, him. I haven't confronted him yet. Not directly, but I will. I don't know how or when, I just know I can't let this go. Because Evan didn't just try to sabotage me. He calculated it. He nurtured it. And he used our friendship to do it. I'm writing this because I can't say it out loud yet. Not to anyone in real life. But I had to get it off my chest. Update 1 week later, I know what he did. Now he knows I know. I haven't confronted Evan directly. Not yet. But he knows I know. And I know he's squirming. Let me explain. After I found out from the HR guy that Evan had been the one sabotaging me behind the scenes, I didn't rage. I didn't yell. I didn't even block him. I invited him over for dinner. Yeah, I made him sit at my table. I grilled steaks. My wife made salad. We opened a bottle of wine. He sat across from me with that same smug, easygoing face, cracking jokes, talking about his new responsibilities at work like he earned them. And I just smiled. "Proud of you, man. You're moving up fast." He said, "Hey, I'm just filling the gap until you're back to full speed." The whole night was a performance. He doesn't know who talked to me, but I saw it in his eyes when I mentioned something small. Weird how things shake out, huh? HR's been quiet lately. He paused. Yeah, I guess people stopped complaining. That half-second hesitation, that twitch in his expression, that was all I needed. But I didn't stop there. I took the week off work, sick days. While I was resting, I was gathering email chains, Slack threads, screenshots, colleagues who trusted me enough to speak honestly when I asked, "Hey, have you ever felt like I made you uncomfortable?" Every single one said no. Some even looked surprised I'd ask. One of them, a junior analyst, said this: "Honestly, I always thought Evan was kinda manipulative, I just didn't want to say anything." Bingo. I'm building something. Not out of revenge, not exactly, but out of clarity. I don't want my name cleared privately. I want it on record. And I want people to see Evan for what he is, without me having to scream it. Just facts, just the receipts. And when the time comes, I'll make sure they're delivered to the right people. He ruined my reputation quietly. I plan to fix it loudly. Update 2, 3 weeks later. I didn't have to expose him. He did it to himself. It's done. Evan's little empire collapsed faster than I expected. And the best part, I didn't even need to scream. I just handed over the truth. Let me walk you through what happened. After my last update, I spent another week compiling everything: messages, timestamps, discrepancies in his reports, and most importantly, testimonies. I wasn't the only one he'd manipulated. A former coworker from our previous job, someone I hadn't spoken to in years, reached out after hearing what was happening. He said, "Evan did the same thing to our manager back in 2019. Tanked his reputation, then slid into his role. Same script." Suddenly, it all made sense. Evan wasn't just a jealous friend. He was a career leech, climbing over the wreckage of people he called close. So I did something bold. I booked a private meeting with our head of people, basically one level above HR. I showed them everything. No drama, no accusations, just facts. I said, "I'm not here to make demands. I just want the record corrected. And I think you should see what kind of person you promoted." They were quiet for a long time. Then they said, "Thank you for bringing this in, we'll handle it." 2 days later, Evan was called into a meeting. He didn't come out for 45 minutes. That afternoon, an all-staff memo came out saying his role had been resigned, pending internal review. By the end of the week, he was gone. No warning, no goodbye lunch, no exit speech. Just gone. Apparently, they offered him the chance to resign before they opened a formal investigation. And Evan, he took the exit, quietly, like he always operated. I've since been reinstated in my full role, publicly, and my name's clear. People around the office suddenly look me in the eye again. A few even apologized. I didn't ask for apologies. I just wanted truth. What hurts most? I didn't lose a coworker. I lost the guy I once called my best friend, the one who stood next to me at my wedding, the one who I thought would be Uncle Evan to my future kids. Turns out, he was never standing beside me. He was standing behind me, waiting for the right moment to stab me in the back. Update 3, 1 year later. I stopped asking why he did it. But that guy never existed. I've stopped trying to understand why he did it. I'll never get a clean answer. Some people sabotage others not because they hate them, but because they hate seeing someone else doing better and being loved for it. Jealousy in disguise. After Evan left the company, I expected a mess. A smear campaign, bitter texts, drama. But nothing came. He vanished the same way he operated. Quietly, strategically, cowardly. A few months later, someone told me he moved out of state. New job, new city, new people to fool. I wish them luck. As for me, my work's never been better. I got promoted in Q4. My wife and I are expecting our first child. And the people who once avoided me, now they trust me again. Some even look to me for guidance. Funny, isn't it? The same person who tried to erase my credibility ended up making me stronger. Would I ever trust that easily again? No, but that's not a tragedy, that's growth. Some lessons have to be earned in scars. And if you're reading this, wondering if someone close to you is smiling while slowly cutting you down, trust your instincts. Gather proof.